Hi, Konstantin here. In today's lesson I will briefly introduce you an input element. The input element is one of the most commonly used elements in HTML, and it's used to create form controls that allow users to input data. The purpose of the input element is to accept and process user input and to send it to the server for further processing. Now let's talk about different types of input elements. There are several types of input elements, but we will focus on most common ones since it's introductory video. To create an input element, you simply use the HTML input tag and set the type attribute to the type of input element you want to create. You can also set other attributes such as name, ID, value, and a placeholder. Alright, let's dive into the code. Let's start with the most common one, the text input. So, let's write text input. And let's place here the label and the input. Label is, think of label like the name of the input or some text which is describing what this input is about, what is it for. So for example, in this case, we ask user to enter her name, and we have a label here and the input of type text. We have such an attributes like an ID inside input and for inside label. This one should be the same for label and input, and in such a way they are like corresponding, the label with the input with this ID and for. Name attribute inside input is used for interacting this input with a form element. I will tell more about this later. And the value, it's just you can define the default value of the input. Alright, let's save it. And here we have our input, and you can see we have here this John Doe default value. Right, let's remove it, not to confuse the user. And good practice is to add a placeholder attribute. Placeholder is just like a hint for the user what user should enter here. So let's write here, enter your name. Let's save it, and as you see it appears like a grayed text, and user just knows what she should do. And let's write here like Mike. Alright, this is the simple text input. There are really a lot of different types of inputs, and I will make a video on each one, which is important, but just to demonstrate how different input types could be, I will just copy paste some text just not to write too much. And let's format the document. Oh, alright, it's not configured. Let's format selection. Alright, and here you can see we have a couple of different types of inputs, and as you can see they could be really different. So if we have input of type password, as you can guess, this is used for user to type in their passwords, and when user types here there is this password is hidden, so those asterisks appeared, not characters, but this asterisks. And here we have radio buttons. This type of input is used when you want user to pick just one option, like male or female, or I don't know. I've seen I don't know option for this question, but never mind. And we have below we have a checkboxes attribute. When you want user of type checkbox, when we want user to pick a couple of different options. For example, if user like apples and bananas but don't like oranges, she could pick just those two ones. And I think the last input for this introductory video is the file input. It is used when you want user to upload some file, I don't know, some document or attachment. So if we are defining input of type file, there is a button, and when we click it, we can choose some file which will be sent to server. And as you see, the name of the file appears here, and all those functionality, all this behavior is inside the browser, so no JavaScript included in here. It is just the browser functionality. Alright, in addition to those types, there are many other types of input element in HTML, such as color picker, range, date, time, and many more. But that's it for this very quick introduction for HTML input element. I hope you find it helpful. I will teach you about every input element in upcoming videos, and at the end we will build the complete form which we will send the data to the server. So stay tuned, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and happy learning!